Oh, hi there. Welcome back. Gritty Tales writing vlog, Tyler M. Mathis, coming to you once again. Today I've decided to do something a bit different. I'm out in nature here on a beautiful late winter day. Guess it's almost 60 out here. As you can see, I'm by a lake somewhere in eastern Pennsylvania at a location that will remain undisclosed. It's not like anybody doesn't know about it, but, always in this day and age, so overcrowded, the fewer the better, right? I'm also working off script today, which is nice. I usually have these vlogs planned out, and I read them off my computer like a, what is it they call that that the politicians use? Teleprompter. That's it. Yeah, usually I do that, but not today. We're just gonna, go live and freestyle things and see what the hell happens. So, the vlog I've been wanting to do is how often should you write and how much should you write when you sit down to write? So, let's go with the how often first. In books and articles on writing advice, best-selling authors, industry people, whatever the case, they all say different things about how often a writer should write. A lot of people like to refer to Stephen King's On Writing, so we'll go there. Pretty much every day, that's what he claims his schedule is. A lot of other writers say the same thing. And then there are other writers who binge write. They'll write for several days straight. In some cases, don't quote me on this, I haven't fact-checked it, but I always heard that, like, Philip K. Dick could write those shorter novels of his in a weekend. So, there are all sorts of different ways to do it, and, as anybody who's ever followed a famous writer knows, they take a lot of time off, a lot of them. It's not always just because they're lazy. It's because they're doing book signings and traveling and, whatever kind of crap that famous writers do. But chances are I'll never know, so I'm not going to worry about it. So, should you write every day? My answer is, as far as the often goes, it varies person to person, and I know a lot of people that I reach, they, you're working people. You're writing in your spare time, working 40 hours. Maybe you even have a family. A young family especially is very time consuming. I've been there. And, you're not going to be able to do that. So, when do you write? Well, you have to, go out of your way to set that time aside. Let's assume you're working 5 days a week. You have your evenings, perhaps, maybe a weekend day if you can beg off on social obligations, spousal obligations, whatever the case. We've gone over what supportive family members are. And you need to schedule that time, set it aside, and use it. That's really about it. Your time is limited. So you just have to kind of work it in wherever you can. Don't feel bad or sorry for yourself because you can't keep to Stephen King's schedule. I mean, the guy is a professional writer. That's all he does. So, yeah, he's going to be able to do that every day. You know, you're not going to be able to. So, just make sure when you set that time aside that you use it. You don't gaff it off. Be preparing during your downtime. Phone recorder device, a must. Ideas are going to come to you. Pocket notebook, I guess, for you people who still are old school, or younger people who like to pretend they're old school. Don't bother. You know, I'm old school, and I remember having to deal with that crap with carrying the little book around. And when, you know, I worked a job, I would have to stop what I was doing and write those ideas down. It takes more time than you think, so use your recorder. Okay, now let's move on to people who have damn near unlimited time to write. You know, you're old, you're retired, whatever the case, you've got time, you've got nothing to do and all day to do it, except to write. Should you write every day? The answer, if you feel like it, if you think you're prepared. If not, I wouldn't sweat it. The important thing is to keep the story going at a steady pace. Now that will, as the cliche goes, it wins the race. You just keep working. It's dribs and drabs. And if you don't feel like doing it every day, whatever the case, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, I seldom write more than 4 days a week when I'm on project, and it's not due to laziness, it's due to the fact that I'm thinking over what comes next. And I'll sit there at night and I'll record things and I'll go over the plot because, you know, the base plot is given to me as a ghostwriter. I'll go over the plot, what the client wants, and figure out the best way to get there. It's the same with my own stuff. Very rarely do I ad-lib off the cuff with major plot twists. It just doesn't happen. You know, ad-libbing is more for, I mean, you want that for dialogue and, you know, just your everyday writing, or where you're describing something. That's what gets you into it. But no, I don't think you have to write every day of the week. You just have to be consistent. That's the important thing, is consistency. That's what gets your job done. So, once again, our questions are answered with, you know, rather ambiguously, should we say, but it depends on the specific writer. And that's pretty much all I have for how often.